Like most people, I found the low carb way of eating when I decided I needed to lose weight. But since I've been researching it, practicing it, and continuing to fine tune it, I have landed on the carnivore way of eating, which is just about any animal product or any product that came from an animal. I like to say if it had a face or came from something with a face, then it's probably all right to eat if you consider yourself a carnivore. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to tell you probably 3 reasons, not necessarily including weight loss, that I am still a carnivore, but I consider somebody participating in the carnivore way of eating. But first, I'm Chip. This channel is CP59 Fit, Unconventional Healthy Living Strategies. There should be a red, white, and blue icon in this corner. You can click on that and subscribe if you wouldn't mind. That would help me a lot, and it would help YouTube know what you want to watch. Unconventional Healthy Living Strategies is an umbrella, kind of like Optimal Living, which is a community I promote on the School app, which is SKOOL. You can look up The Art of Optimal Living, which is run by another carnivore, and I'm kind of helping him build that. School.com, I think /Art of Optimal Living. It's free to join the School platform. It's free to join the group. It's free to watch my videos, but if you would click that and leave a comment below, it would be greatly appreciated. Okay, so let me tell you, I did start being a carnivore way of eating to lose weight. And I've never liked vegetables, and I could tolerate fruits and enjoy them at times. And even now, you don't have to swear them off for life. Elimination diets, which all low-carb diets are designed to help you heal and to also know learn what's causing your health issues and maybe keep them out for life or maybe not. Or you might get to a point where you've improved your metabolic health, which is generally the problem for everybody, is we are in bad metabolic health. That's why we gain weight. That's why we get disease. Excuse me. But once you have healed, I'm talking about 6 months or more, then if you want to, have a peach ice cream at the Peach Festival once a year, that's probably more than fine. If you want to have a piece of cake at grandma's birthday party or your son's graduation or wedding or whatever, once you've healed your insulin response and your insulin sensitivity, that's not going to affect you the same as putting that amount of carbohydrates down the chute every single day. So that's one thing I've learned over the last 5 or 6 years as I've gone from 260 pounds to 200 to 230 back to 213. So yes, it's a roller coaster, but I'm much more healthy today at almost 60 years old than I was 10 years ago at 50 years old when I was rolled into an emergency room having a massive stroke and put into ICU for 2 nights, paralyzed on my left side. Fortunately, praise God, I was on the phone with the guardian angel who rushed to the house, called the fire department or 911. Fire department came, knocked the door in, the ambulance came, rushed me off to a very good hospital, the equivalent in Fort Worth to Parkland in Dallas, which they took JFK to the night he was shot. Fortunately, I had, I think, a little better outcome in that I survived and I'm able to get healthier through the experience. But one thing they did find in the testing, in the MRI, was that I have a fully occluded right internal artery, yet nobody can tell me why I had a stroke. And what a stroke is when you have a blood clot form in an artery and it goes to either your brain, your lung, or your heart and blocks the blood flow to it, which damages the organ, whatever it is. I mean, if you have I think they call it an embolism if it goes to the lungs, which basically means you can't breathe. A stroke when it goes to the brain, which means your brain is starving of oxygen. And a myocardial infarction if it goes to the heart, which is randomly called a heart attack. So you got stroke, heart attack, and embolism, all caused by blood clots. Now there are other causes. You can have if I move my feet, the tripod shakes. You can have heart attacks and strokes that are different. I mean, I know you can have a bleeding stroke. That's why I had to have an MRI before they could give me the shot to bust up the clot. But I was paralyzed on my left side for a good at least 4 hours. They said, well, 4 hours since when I got to the hospital. Fortunately, the man I was on the phone with took really good notes and was able to transfer that information to the medical professionals, and they knew my window of opportunity was closing. So they have to do this. They have to qualify you for this shot, and then they have to administer it, and all within 90 minutes of the onset of the stroke for the best results, which best results are 17% success rate. So that I made it is really amazing, and that I had enough brain cells left to study and research keto, carnivore, ketovore, low carb, whatever you want to call it, and actually get healthier over the next 10 years than I was when I almost died, is quite a miracle in and of itself. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Bill Zedler. Thank you for the medical professionals, paramedics, firefighters, everybody that had a part, and even my friends that put a new door on the house before I got home. Thank goodness. But what have I learned, both as to why I had a stroke and why I'm still doing carnivore? They're kind of all interconnected. Carnivore, the main draw to me for carnivore is I've never really liked vegetables, and I'll eat a little bit of fruit now and then, or I would anyway. I don't eat a lot of it now, but I was never like a fruitaholic or anything. And if I never ate vegetables again, I'd be perfectly fine. And that includes salads and cucumbers, all that stuff. I don't mind growing a garden. I actually enjoy. I have a forestry degree, so I'm kind of an outdoorsy person. Or I was. I'm almost 60 now, so I'm backing off. But the sun has come out, and I'm looking forward to getting into that hot tub, which is down below the part of the deck that doesn't have the screen room over it. But I learned that by lowering my insulin level, by lowering my glucose level, which lowering my carbohydrate intake, helps protect those arteries, which they found this one was clogged, or one branch, the branch going up here, I think, was clogged when I had the MRI for the stroke to determine if they could bust the clot that went to my brain. And to this day, none of my personal doctors have told me how a clot is formed or why you have a stroke. Oh, nobody ever knows. You just have. No, that's not exactly true. I have listened to other doctors that have informed me. And you've probably heard of hardening of the arteries or blockage of the arteries. Putting stents in around heart arteries. That's all from calcium blocking. And calcium is basically built around LDL cholesterol, which they call the good cholesterol. No, I'm sorry, that's the bad cholesterol. But none of that makes any sense, bad or good. It's all wrong. What they tell you is like a snippet of a thing that would take 10 or 20 minutes to explain to you, so I'm not going to do it all right now. But there are multiple sizes of LDL cholesterol, and if it's big like a beach ball, it's perfectly normal. And to call it cholesterol is even wrong in the first place. Cholesterol is a passenger in these lipoproteins that transfer fat around your body so that whatever cell needs it can take it out of this vehicle. It's like riding on a bus. And if one person gets out, the bus doesn't disappear. But there's plenty of stuff on that all over the internet, so I don't need to go into it. But once these big fluffy ones get oxidized, usually by seed oils, vegetable oils, fried food, too much sugar, then they get small enough to stick in your arteries. And then your body, your immune system rushes in, puts a protective coating, I guess is the first thing. And then the other part of your immune system tries to break it down and take it off the artery wall. That's how you get soft plaque. Well, soft plaque, by its nature, is soft, so it can burst, and when the goo in there gets into the bloodstream, poof, an instant clot. Now, it can be small or it can be large, and depending on where it goes, depends on how badly you get affected. But basically, by cutting out carbohydrates and processed food and sticking to animal products, I am trying to heal that, reduce the risk of a future stroke. And weight loss is a benefit of getting healthy. You know, it's the age-old question, do you get healthy to lose weight or do you lose weight to get healthy? I could probably do a whole video on that, but I'm going to say you get healthy to lose weight, because obesity is a disease, and it's more a symptom than an actual, it is a disease. It's classified as a compound disease, which means lots of things contribute to it. But so, getting healthy to lose weight, and I have gone from obese to overweight, and I'm trying to get to healthy weight. But I'm basically a carnivore because I have a clogged artery, and I have opened it up once, and I want to open it up again, and I want to continue to keep it open. And when I started, I was obese, so it was all about weight loss, but that's kind of shifted. The wind is blowing here and the trees are blooming, so there's quite a bit of pollen in the air. Forgive me for drinking, but I'd rather do that than cough or lose my voice. So yes, weight loss is still a secondary factor, but the health of my arteries and trying to prevent an additional stroke is probably the main reason I've gone to mostly animal products, and may take the next step on April 1st and go completely what they call lion diet. And if I mentioned it previous, I'm sorry, this is like the fourth take of this, trying to get it small enough and concise enough not to bore you to tears. But lion is ruminant meat, salt, and water. Yes, you can live off that. Ruminant meat is the most nutrient-dense food on the planet, with the most bioavailable nutrients. That's why a lot of people on carnivore at first think they're constipated. They're not constipated. The body's just using everything you put in, so there's no waste to push out. So you don't go for 2 or 3 days and think, oh, no, if you're constipated, you know it. It's a very painful process, I'm told. And there are ways to prevent it. Well, I shouldn't say prevent it. I'm sure there are ways to prevent it, but proper education, if you're going to start this kind of a way of eating, will help you not to worry about things that really aren't something to worry about. You're just going less because you're using the nutrients in the food instead of flushing them. Because in a lot of things like plants, if you put it in a test tube, you can say it has iron, it has B, it has K, it has all these vitamins, but that doesn't mean your body can get to them. But a piece of meat, you can get to almost everything, so what your body needs to get rid of is a lot less. And that's another thing I like, is you don't have those messy carb craps. So sorry about that, but if you can take a piece of toilet paper and not take anything off once you're finished, that's called a ghost wipe, and that's pretty good. That means your body used it and it comes out clean and as dry as it should be. And on that note, I guess that's a good place to end it. Yes, I'm carnivore for my health, and I hope you'll join me. Leave a comment below what you thought of this video. Thanks. Bye-bye.